Barnes & Noble DVD locations.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Good to have you with us. The 1950s and 60s were a big time for rock and roll music, and Hollywood, in keeping step with the times, produced a whole slew of movies that capitalized on that music craze. Several films were made which focused on rock stars in much the same way that stars of the big band era of the 40s, like Frank Sinatra, were parodied in movies geared to entertain the parents of those teenagers of the 60s. Well, we have some of those films inspired by rock and roll coming right up, starting with Bye Bye Birdie from Columbia Pictures in 1963, based on the Tony Award-winning Broadway musical from 1960. Michael Stewart, who wrote the musical, got its idea from the commotion caused when Elvis Presley was drafted into the Army in 1958. So in Bye Bye Birdie, we have a gyrating rock singer named Conrad Birdie about to have one last publicity hurrah before he's drafted into the military, much to the dismay of his teenage fans. Now, not surprisingly, when this movie was being planned, Elvis was the first one asked to be in it, in essence playing himself. But his manager, Colonel Parker, refused the offer, so the part of Birdie went instead to newcomer Jesse Pearson, who'd made a big splash when he played Birdie in the national tour of the stage show Bye Bye Birdie. Two other actors who appeared in the Broadway cast of the Bye Bye Birdie ended up reprising their roles for this movie version. One was Dick Van Dyke, who won a Tony Award for his performance in the Broadway show. It was Dick's success in that stage version which led to producer Sheldon Leonard offering Dick the lead in what became the hit TV series, The Dick Van Dyke Show. And Dick was just 2 years into doing that series when he made this film, and it's the first film he ever made. Also from the Broadway version, funny man Paul Lynde. In the movie, you also see Janet Leigh, Maureen Stapleton, and pop star Bobby Rydell. But the one who really steals the show is Anne Margaret, playing Conrad Birdie's biggest fan. Now, she'd made 2 movies by this point, but this is the film that made all the studios in Hollywood wave contracts in her direction, ending up with one of those projects being Viva Las Vegas, co-starring her with the real Elvis Presley. Here from 1963, directed by George Sidney, Bye Bye Birdie.